Hey, welcome back to J&J's Maintenance and More. Today we're putting a camshaft in a old 302 Ford, or for you that prefer it, a 5-liter Ford. Wanted to point out a couple of things on this. I use a lot of assembly lube. With the camshaft, I use an assembly paste. This paste goes on there because the camshaft needs to be broken in, and so you need something that's going to stay there until you get some oil pressure build up. I also use this on the lifters because that's all lubricated by oil runoff from the top of the block on these lobes. So you put the paste on there. When you break in the cam, it will stay there better and hopefully not wipe out your camshaft. So, with that said, I'm going to go ahead. I got all the lobes greased up, and I'm going to stick this back, slide this in, nice and easy. You want to be careful when you're going in that you don't damage the bearings. These are all new bearings in here, so you want to be careful with them. One trick that I've learned that I didn't think I was going to need to have anymore, and I might not, we'll see, but we'll slide this in. Carefully. One thing we're going to try here, if I have something that this will work sometimes good for you. You stick something here so you can kind of pull it up and hold it in place. I'm going to put a little more lube here where I wiped some off. Make sure it's good to go. You just don't want anything damaged whenever you start this thing up, so the more lube the better. And the lifters will get a good coat of this too as they go in. So we're going to put this in. And there we go, we're in. Now, once this is in place, like so, we want to come over here. We're going to put some lubrication. We're going to put some lubrication on this thrust plate, retainer plate, whatever that you want to call it. So we're going to lube it on the back. What you got to pay attention to is it has back, bottom. So when you put this on there, you want to make sure it's on the back and it's on the bottom. We'll just use this since it's handy. Get it good and lubricated. I'm going to just set it right here for the time being. Try to stay as clean as possible, but it ain't working out real well. Now, the bolts that hold that into place, they require a thread locker. What you should use is, it don't have to be Loctite, although that's what I prefer, but the Loctite blue. Alright, the blue will hold it there, but if you ever need to take it apart, you can take it apart. So, you're going to go, and we're going to double check, make sure that that says back, bottom. We're going to start these in. We do the same thing with this one. Put them all the way in. These torque between 9 and 12 foot-pounds with the thread locker so that it'll stay. Already got my torque wrench set up, so we'll go ahead and run this in. And there you go. So the camshaft, for all intensive purposes, is in place. I'm going to pause the video for a minute while I get my stuff together to put the gears and chain on. Alright, so we got the cam in place. We got the front plate torqued. And we're going to go ahead and put the chain and gears on. And I'm sure you probably can't see it, but there's a dot right here on the top of this gear. If you look right in here, there's a dot right here. Now I know there's a lot of people out there probably huge fans of a double roller cam, double roller chain. I've done a lot of research because this kit came with a regular timing chain, and I had thought about going double roller. And the more that I've read about it, the more that people talked about how the double rollers tend to stretch a lot faster than these ones. And you don't need a double roller when you're just going with a mild cam like this, where that we're, you know, like 500 thousandths lift at the valve. So, and a flat tappet cam. So, anyways, I always take and soak, like this here's got all these little pins in it, you know, where it rotates. So this thing actually soaked overnight from so you get oil in here for your initial startup. Another thing, when you get your cam, you'll get two pins usually with your camshaft. And what you want to make sure of is that you get the proper pin in there. This one here, I needed the long pin, because once that you put this into place, yeah, we might probably you gotta kind of do this together. Let go. You just got to be patient with these things. Just a little bit still. Yeah, we're making some progress here. You hold that for a second. Can you get me that the big?
Got it.
So close. So close, we got the dots lined up. We just got to get the alright. I'm going to take and pause this video for a minute till I get this camshaft and everything lined up and the gear in place, and then I'll point out a couple other things that I believe are very important to look for when you're doing this. Alright, we got that mess figured out. Got it in place. A little bit of a struggle, but hey, it happens. We were talking about the crankshaft, or the camshaft pin. Here's the pin right here. The camshaft came with a short pin and a long pin. And whenever that you put them together, you got to make sure that the pin comes all the way through the cam gear, but not too much. So whenever that you put your fuel pump drive on, it should sit in here. Let me get a little light on this. I bet that looks good. Anyways, if you look in here, you can see that the pin is there and it's catching on this. And whenever you put when you put this together, you're going to put it together and Loctite it and torque it to, I have to look, 45 foot-pounds, I believe, but you want to torque it, you want to put the blue thread lock on there. And then what happens, this goes on, you torque this down, this washer just covers enough of the edge of this pin right here to keep it from coming back out. If this is too far out and it protrudes past this piece right here, then you're going to screw stuff up when you try to tighten this down. So it's just one of those things that, you know, I try to point out the crazy stuff, you know, the things that people might forget to look at while I'm doing these. So with that said, that's about all I'm going to do today for videos. I'm going to go ahead and get this torqued into place and just do some simple stuff, oil pump and stuff like that. That's fairly cut and dry. So y'all have a great day. Please subscribe to the channel, like it, share it, hit the notifications button, and follow along while we put this 504 together. Y'all have a great day. Let's see how that shit turns out later.
Well, I'll tell you what, at 5 that's what everybody used to beg for.